Good evening. My name is Holly Couturier, and I am the Executive Director of the Maine Principal Association's Professional Division. Joining me to honor all of you tonight are Executive Director Michael Burnham, Assistant Executive Director Michael Bithen, Executive Assistant Patty Newman, our bookkeeper Diane Patnote, and our Secretary Tammy McNear. Tonight we honor the very important and significant role that principals, assistant principals, secretaries, coaches, and school volunteers play in Maine schools. While we are recognizing a number of individuals this evening, we are in fact honoring all educators, dedicated, hardworking, often taken for granted, those who work diligently and selflessly on behalf of all young people in our schools. These have been exceptional times. And as expected, you have not only risen to these incredible challenges, but you have kept a smile on your face while supporting your staff and students. For this, we commend you. On behalf of the entire staff at the MPA, thank you for inspiring us. Thank you for your service to the association, and thank you for making a difference where it counts, in schools and classrooms across our state. To celebrate all of you outstanding educators this evening, from the Maine Department of Education, our Maine Commissioner of Education, Pender Macon, Deputy Commissioner of Education, Dan Chuda, and Chief of Staff, Jessica Nixon. Pender and Dan, welcome.
Thanks, Holly. Dan, you there? Oh, there you are. And you're muted. Hi, everybody. We just wanted to say thank you for letting us share in even just a little few minutes of your very special event. It is an honor to be among the people who are doing the hardest work in the trenches, caught in the crucibles, crushed between family and community expectations and your staff expectations and the children and students that you're caring for. And we just want you to know we know exactly what you're going through. We're in it with you, and we're deeply grateful for your courageous leadership. It has never been more important. And these are times that will define, this crisis will define your legacy as a leader. And the fact that you are being honored in such a big way tonight, we are completely in awe of the work you're doing and so happy to be here with you.
Good evening, everyone. Just to echo the sentiments of the commissioner, I want to congratulate all the awardees tonight. As both a parent and an educator, I recognize what the important roles are that you play in the schools and supporting your staff and your students. So again, congratulations. And on behalf of everyone at the department, we are here to support you and encourage you and congratulate you. So, and again, congratulations.
Yay, thank you.
Thank you, Pender and Dan, for your kind words and for being a part of our special evening. It now gives me great pleasure to turn this over to our host for this evening's program, Principal of Mount Desert Island Region High School and MPA past President Matt Haney, and Paula Callan, Principal of Messalonskee High School and your current MPA President. Matt and Paula.
Good evening, and thank you, Holly. As past president of the Maine Principals Association, I have the honor and great pleasure of co-presiding over this very special evening. This event gives us the opportunity as a group to recognize and celebrate the achievements of many outstanding educational leaders.
Outstanding Assistant Principal, NAESP National Distinguished Principal, and the NASP Principal of the Year.
To begin the program, we recognize not one, but two National Coaches of the Year. Recognized by the National Federation of State High School Associations, the first person we recognize tonight is Deangelis, the National Boys Cross Country Skiing Coach of the Year. Coach Deangelis of Mount Aranacook Community High School in Reedfield is a powerhouse at the head of a powerhouse program. He's been recognized 10 times as the Kennebec Valley Nordic Coach of the Year the Maine State Ski Coach of the Year in 2015, the Varsity Maine All Sports Coach of the Year in 2017, and has been inducted into the Maine Ski Hall of Fame. Coach Deangelis believes that if his skiers can excel in 3 areas, physical, mental, and technical, they will be successful. This hard work and dedication to his skiers make his team competitive and consistently focusing on becoming the best they can be. It is our honor to recognize Stephen Deangelis as the National Boys Cross Country Skiing Coach of the Year.
Good evening, folks. So I'd like to start by thanking Matt and Paula and thanking Mike Burnham and Holly Coutier and Mike Bisson at the NPA for selecting me as State Coach of the Year. I guess that's how this all started, and ended with a rather unlikely result, I think, of me being given this national award. I'm honored that they thought of me because I think very highly of all of them and the work they do at the NPA, and it matters to me that they value what I do as a high school coach and what we all do as high school educators. I'm absolutely sure that sports have a big impact on the development of our youth. So I want to use my few minutes to talk about just 3 things I notice when coaching high school athletes. The first is that I see that the athletes come to realize the value of being part of a committed team and working for more than just themselves. Nordic skiing is a physically and mentally demanding sport, and there's something about the shared hardship the athletes experience that builds really strong bonds. I see that in the fierce loyalty and camaraderie that our team family exhibits. It's a lifelong skill. The second is that I find that they really learn the value of intrinsic motivation. Of course, they kind of have to. Nordic ski racers don't often make the front page of the papers and spend much of a race either on their own in the woods or maybe in view of another racer or two. And even when they finish in front of maybe 50 spectators on a good day, they are likely to have their faces covered in frozen drool. So that intrinsic motivation they develop is why we have kids who might not ever have considered themselves athletic still have a great high school experience because they learn to set and meet personal goals, the results of which may never show up in the papers, but they do that with the support of their peers and their coaches. Our goal is always to help each athlete progress from wherever they start to meet their individual goals, and at the same time, work together and support each other to do our very best as a team. And finally, I find that the skiers on a team really learn to appreciate the value of diversity and inclusion. We consistently have 10 to 15% of the student body on our Nordic team. Everyone from raw beginners who have never even set foot on skis before to athletes who aspire to be state champions. That range of fitness and abilities presents challenges, but there is great strength for our team in that diversity. The athletes see that everyone, no matter their skill level, has their challenges and successes. I think it helps them all to handle individual disappointments because they see that everyone has to face them and overcome them. It builds resilience, another really critical thing we try to do for our youth, right? So anyone who's coached for a while knows a coach is only as good as their athletes. And I have been truly blessed to have worked for years with tremendous athletes and their parents and have an incredibly supportive family. I feel like I've always gotten a great return from my investment energy. That's what's made it possible for me to coach for almost 40 years now. So finally, to my athletes, past, present, and future, thanks for the passion, commitment, and joy you've given to me throughout my coaching career and will continue to bring to our Maranicook team. We are not done yet either. So thanks for giving me a few minutes to share my thoughts, folks. I appreciate it. Look forward to hearing from the rest of the people. And here is the plaque that I'm being awarded, which I think is just proof that I'm not Zoom bombing this meeting, but I greatly appreciate this honor again. And thank you very much for the few minutes. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach Deangelis. The next honoree this evening is Meredith Messer, the National Girls Coach of the Year. Coach Messer is the girls soccer coach of Camden Hills Regional High School in Rockport. She's been named twice as the Kennebec Valley Athletic Conference Coach of the Year, the Maine Soccer Coaches Association New England Large School Coach of the Year, the Northern Maine Coach of the Year, and Maine Soccer Coaches Association, and was inducted into the Mid-Coast Hall of Fame. Coach Messer believes that athletics should provide young women the chance to challenge themselves, be part of something bigger than themselves, and to build confidence. She also believes that if her players leave her program with confidence in their abilities to work with others, willingness to be challenged, and never settle for less than their best, and know how to put a team or family first, she knows she's been successful. It is our honor to recognize Meredith Messer this evening, the National Girls Soccer Coach of the Year.
Hi, good evening. Thank you so much for this award. It's been such an amazing experience to have coached at Camden for over 20 years. I feel very blessed to be in the state of Maine and have my teams playing here and representing our state. I've been very fortunate to have had great role models. My dad was a coach, my brother was a soccer coach up in Van Buren and won some state championships. I've also been very lucky to have had great athletic directors along the way to help guide me, because all of you who coach know the way you are at 24 is not the way you are at 50. And so I was very fortunate to have Dave Cook, Bill Hughes as mentors for myself along the way. In the Mid-Coast region, soccer is starting to bloom. And so I feel very, very lucky to have a community that supports soccer, supports their kids, amazing families doing all kinds of things out of the box to keep their kids involved and healthy and happy playing sports. So I've got to give a shout out to all my athletes who really demonstrate for me on a daily basis what it means to sacrifice for each other, to play for a common goal, and to celebrate the victory when it happens, and to support each other in defeat when that happens as well. So thank you so much for this honor. It's been a great experience, and hopefully what we've accomplished by winning these awards as coaches is that we bring some attention to the quality of the athletes in Maine. We have some great kids and we have some great athletes. So thank you guys very much.
Our next award this evening is the Larry Labrie Award for Outstanding Contributions to the Interscholastic Division. This award was created by the Interscholastic Management Committee to honor former Assistant Executive Director Larry Labrie, who retired in June of 2008 after 16 years of service to the association. The award recognizes individuals who make outstanding contributions to the Interscholastic Division of the Maine Principals Association. With us to honor tonight's recipient of the Larry Labrie Award for Outstanding Contributions to the Interscholastic Division are Larry Labrie himself, his wife, Willie, and their daughter, Beth. Welcome.
Hi, they're watching the streaming of this event, but it's my pleasure to speak with you tonight. So I'm here tonight to share a little bit with you about who my father, Larry Labrie, is, his past role in the MPA, and how proud we are of the recipients of the Larry Labrie Award. My father was a coach, teacher, and administrator in the Auburn Public Schools for 25 years, culminating with the position of principal of Edward Little High School for 8 years. Larry left Edward Little in 1992 to become assistant executive director at the MPA, and he served in that capacity for 16 years, retiring in 2008. During his years with the MPA, he was known for his work in coordinating many state championships in a wide variety of sports across the state, advocating for expanded opportunities for women in sports, and building relationships as a mentor with athletic directors and principals throughout the state. When I became a teacher at Edward Little, 5 years after my father had moved to the MPA, the staff still talked about my father, saying how much they respected him as a boss, because while they didn't always agree with him, they always knew where they stood. He was always good at explaining why he made the decisions that he did. Personally, Larry Labrie is a devoted husband to his wife, Willie. Together, they enjoy traveling, spending time at the lake, and playing dominoes with the family, and he still beats us. He's a very loving father who supported myself and my sister in any endeavor we undertook. This included helping with the horse farm my sister and I ran for 16 years. And if you knew my dad, you knew he wouldn't have shoveled stalls and fed horses for anyone else. Although his Alzheimer's disease is becoming more advanced and he struggles to remember how to do simple tasks, He still asks me how school is going, and he proudly carries his MPA card in his wallet. My mom and dad still maintain a file of photos of past recipients of the Larry Labrie Award with my dad, as it means so much to him to have this award in his honor. As you can see, Larry Labrie is a great example of an effective administrator, and I know he is so pleased with this year's recipients of the Larry Labrie Award. Thank you.
Thank you, Beth, so much. Please give your dad a hug for us. The first Larry Labrie Award recipient is Jerry Durgan. Jerry continues to give back to Maine high school sports and activities. First, as a longtime athletic administrator at Telstar Regional High School, Freiburg Academy, and Gorham High School, during which Jerry was an active member of numerous MPA committees, served on the NFHS Field Hockey Rules Committee, and hosted numerous regional and state championships. Throughout his career, Jerry has been a leader in the Maine Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association, serving on the MIAAA Executive Board, then as an assistant director, and now as their executive director. He has been recognized with numerous awards for his distinguished career and has been inducted into the Freiburg Academy Hall of Fame, the Gorham High School Hall of Fame, the National Athletic Administrators Association Hall of Fame, and the MPA Hall of Excellence. Jerry worked as an assistant director at the MPA for 6 years and currently serves as the site director in golf, football, basketball, baseball, and softball. Jerry's willingness to give back to the young people in Maine make him the perfect recipient of a Larry Labrie Leadership Award. On behalf of the Maine Principals Association, we are pleased to present you with the 2020 Larry Labrie Award for Outstanding Service to the Interscholastic Division. Congratulations, Jerry.
Thank you very much, Paula. I want to start by first congratulating all of tonight's recipients. Never has there been a more important time in education to have strong leadership, and all of the roles that each individual will play is a significant role in the opportunities that we are attempting to create for all of our students at this time. So congratulations to each and every one of you. Many thanks to the MPA for this honor. When it came in the mail, my wife said, "What is that about?" And at the time I made believe I had no idea. So, but I want to sincerely say thank you. I think sometimes one of the things that happens with the MPA is people just don't know the significant role that they play within our state and within our schools, and having the opportunity to work there and be with that staff. Probably every educator, or at least every administrator, ought to be made to go there and spend a day just to see the incredible work that's done, but the amount of work that is done by those people. When you talk about people that are committed to students and to education, I can't think of a more stronger group than the staff at the MPA. It is an honor to receive this in Larry's name. I had the opportunity to work with Larry in many different ways, and he had one of those abilities where he might suggest that you consider doing something, and I don't know if anyone ever dared say no. So you ended up doing a lot of things that perhaps weren't on your radar, but they certainly were on Larry's radar. But as was attested by his daughter, anything and everything that Larry did was done to the very highest level, and it had a lot of integrity with it. And so it is an honor to receive it in his name. I have been the person of good fortune. I have had a strong backing from family, from wife and 2 daughters that I'm very, very proud of. Certainly from friends and colleagues, whether they're in state or out of state, coaches and student athletes. And the things that we've been able to achieve don't happen because of one person, they happen because of a lot of people, and I don't ever want to lose sight of that. I kind of go with challenges are opportunities in disguise. And when I look at where we're at right now, This is the greatest challenge for educators that we probably have ever had, and I don't know that we're ever going to want to see again. But there's probably never been a more important time to have positive leadership with all of the things that are going on. In closing, I'm going to share something that I wrote to athletic administrators back in the end of April and early May when many of us were just trying to find any type of answer we could as we were going through this process. And it just says, our greatest challenge confronting us is creativity, fulfillment, and prudent leadership. While we will collectively discuss and create future templates of best practices during a pandemic, we will lead with passion, commitment, and above all, the total safety and health of our student athletes, coaches, and support staffs. The pandemic will mark history. Many will remember a lot of negatives, but your efforts will leave indelible memories in the hearts and minds of our students. As Winston Churchill says, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. Schools and educational-based activities are what's best for students. I wish each and every one of you continued success and the very best of days ahead. Thank you very much.
Our second awardee is Dawn Berry. Dawn has had a storied teaching, coaching, and officiating career that has spanned for close to 60 years. From 1963 to 1999, Dawn served as both a chemistry teacher at Crosby High School, as well as Belfast Area High School, while also serving as the adult education director for most of that time, and coaching both the track and cross-country teams at Belfast Area High School during his teaching tenure. Dawn has also served as a Maine state representative, held numerous positions of leadership on local and state boards, and still works with the Woodrow Wilson Summer Institute teaching the history of chemistry. Dawn has also had an outstanding career as a track and field official. He has been recognized with the National Track and Field Officials Outstanding Service Award, has been the coordinator of track officials for 3 Masters National Championship meets held in Maine, been the officials coordinator for numerous USA track and field meets, served as a referee at the New Balance Indoor and Outdoor Championship meets, as well as working at the US Olympic trials in 2012 and 2016. Dawn currently serves as the Maine Track and Field Officials Certification Chair, has coordinated the officials for all outdoor track championships, has coordinated the officials for the New England Outdoor Track Championships when held in Maine. In 2005, Dawn was recognized with the USA Track and Field Chair Award, was awarded the USA Track and Field John Davis Award on 6 different occasions, and in 2017 was awarded the prestigious USA Track and Field James Gray National Award. It is indeed a pleasure to recognize Dawn with a 2020 Larry Labrie Award in recognition of his outstanding contributions to the Mpa Interscholastic Division. On behalf of the Maine Principals Association, we are pleased to present you with a 2020 Larry Labrie Award for outstanding service to the Interscholastic Division. Congratulations, Dawn.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate the process that has taken place in my life, being able to reach out to the young people that exist and being able in all that they do. I had no idea what this was coming in the mail, and I was absolutely delighted, surprised, and I wish to thank Mike Burnham for all that he has contributed, and also to Larry Labrie before Mike, as to what his contributions were also to track and field in this state. I am surrounded by a group of track officials that excel in excellence. We have a basic statement that they've heard from my mouth so many times. If you think you saw it, you didn't. And I think that is so important in our sport. It is such an honor to me to be able to stand on a field as a referee and be able to watch the top athletes now for many years. I started track and field at Scarborough High School in 1956. I have spent now 64 years involved in this great sport. And it is great to provide this fair competition. And that is my goal and my officials' goal in this state, to provide that fair competition for all of the athletes. We have seen so much growth. The biggest piece of growth that I have seen has been in women's sports, and especially in women's track and field. I can remember days when none of that occurred. And today I watch athletes at all levels, from the little kids in USA Track and Field Maine summer programs, to our high schools, to our colleges, and to the Olympic level. It is such an honor to receive this from you, and I just generally appreciate it so much. Thank you very much.
Our final recipient of the 2020 Larry Labrie Award is Paul Gastingway. A Bates College graduate, Paul is among the most respected coaches in college tennis and the leader of men's and women's programs that perennially rank among the best in Division III. A Lewiston native, Paul graduated as an All-American player from Bates in 1989 as the winningest tennis player in Bates College history. In 2002, Paul was selected as the Intercollegiate Tennis Association Division III Northeast Region Men's Coach of the Year. Paul was inducted into the Lewiston Auburn Sports Hall of Fame in 2006. Twice honored as the NESCAC Coach of the Year, Paul has led the men's team to one of the longest periods of sustained excellence of any sport in school history. Paul has been a tremendous friend to Maine high school tennis and the Maine Principals Association. For years, he has opened the fabulous James Wallach Tennis Center at Bates College to host numerous MPA, individual, regional, and state championships. Anytime that facility is not being used, Paul graciously opens it to the MPA and gives his time and resources to support the coaches and players in Maine. Paul's commitment to high school tennis help makes the MPA Tennis Championships extra special for all involved. On behalf of the Maine Principals Association, we are pleased to present you with the 2020 Larry Labrie Award for Outstanding Service to the Interscholastic Division. Congratulations, Paul.
Thank you. It's humbling to be among all these recipients this evening, and I've had the pleasure of working alongside Jerry at the Wallach Tennis Center when we're hosting, and so many other fine administrators. I was blessed to be mentored by my father, Jean, who was a longtime coach at Lewiston High School and at Edward Little High School. He was basically the founder of the rec department program for summer tennis, and just grew the game. And my dad was part of state championships as a coach at Lewiston and NEL. And so I got to witness by, his example, what it was to give back to the youth, give back to the community. And so, having participated as a high school athlete, I understood how special it was to be included in a state championship, to participate and to compete against the best in the state. and how special that experience was just to be selected to that tournament. So, you know, having been at Bates for a long time, in my 25th year, back in 2000, when we decided, you know, to rebuild a new tennis center, and we designed the Wallach Tennis Center, I had that in the back of my mind. I said, number one, I wanted to host national championships to, you know, put Bates on the map. But at the same time, I wanted to share this amazing facility that has hosted a few national championships for Division III. I wanted to share that with the state of Maine and to give an opportunity for the players who were selected to this special event to have a nationally renowned venue that, you know, they could really experience a special championship. So my role was very, very small. And I really want to thank the administrators at Bates for allowing me to share our facility. My part was small. It was fun to watch the athletes. It was fun to be part of the event and to help set up the Wallach Center. But I'm humbled and very thankful for this award, and I'm very happy that I've been a very small part in these championships, and I'm very humbled and want to congratulate all the other awardees. Thank you to Mr. Labrie, and really appreciate this award. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Paul. The Maine Principals Association understands the motto, "It takes a village," and recognizes the tremendous number of hours that people around the state volunteer to help support Maine students. Because of this, we have the Dr. Phyllis Doringas Service to Maine Youth Award in honor of Dr. Phyllis Doringas, Assistant Executive Director of the Maine Principals Association before she retired after 16 years of service. With us to honor tonight's recipient of the Dr. Phyllis Doringas Service to Maine Youth Award is Dr. Phyllis Doringas.
Thank you, Matt. And it's so wonderful to be with so many old friends and former colleagues and now new friends. Deep down, most people yearn to be part of something larger than themselves and to contribute to the greater good by making a difference. Tonight, we honor those making a difference through service in its many forms. A number of years ago, when former Senator Olympia Snowe paid tribute to Margaret Chase Smith, she said, "The key factors in public service are dedication, energy, competence, ability, and sheer guts." We celebrate these qualities this evening. Thousands of volunteers in our state lead by example and demonstrate a belief in Maine youth, our hope for a bright future and a better world. A volunteer is a person who is a light to others, giving witness in a mixed up age, doing well and willingly the tasks at hand, namely being aware of another's needs and doing something about it with no expectation of recognition or reward. For 27 years, and I'll do the math for you, since 1993, the Maine Principals Association has honored up to 2 outstanding adults each year who volunteer in our schools, our school districts, our communities, and our state with the Service to Maine Youth Award. This award now bears my name, an honor so unexpected, so meaningful, and so humbling that there are still not adequate words 8 years later to express my gratitude. In this vein, I honor and congratulate Lonnie Steves, this year's awardee, the recipients of the other honors that are being bestowed tonight, our members, all educators, and other public servants with us virtually. To all of you engaged in public service and service through education, thank you for your dedication to Maine youth.
Thank you, Phyllis. The recipient of the 2020 Dr. Phyllis Doringas Service to Maine Youth Award is Lonnie Steves. Athletic Director of Winthrop High School, Joel Staunton, nominated Lonnie because he has been a huge supporter of athletics and the leadership qualities that they represent. He's been a key coordinator for Boys and Girls State for the state of Maine. He assists with countless MPA facility groups and committees at their events and has served in many different roles for the Mountain Valley Conference as a coach, announcer, liaison, and keeping score for over 25 years. He's also assisted in generating leagues across the central Maine area through his roles with the YMCA. Lonnie truly is the epitome of what Dr. Phyllis Doringas Service to Maine Youth Award represents. On behalf of the Maine Principals Association, we are pleased to present Lonnie Steves with the 2020 Dr. Phyllis Doringas Service to Maine Youth Award. Congratulations, and thank you for your service.
Thank you, Matt. It's a great honor to receive this, the Phyllis Doringas Service to Youth Award, and even a bigger honor to have Dr. Doringas give a little background and hear from her. I want to thank my family and my mom for their support and a community here in Winthrop that has been very supportive of everything that I've been involved in for all my years. I got involved with high school sports at a pretty young age when my mom let me go to the state basketball championship game in Bangor in 1971 with my brother. Prescott lost to South Portland that day, 55-53, when the last shot just rolled off the rim. It's not that it's still etched in my mind, but still, but the atmosphere there that day and the fun and the way the tournament was run, that everybody was having such a great time, and that event just stuck in my mind. A few years later, when I was in college and just after college, I got a chance to work for a radio station in Presque Isle, WEGP, broadcasting games with Del Hodgkins. And one evening we were sitting at the auditorium when Rockland played Dexter in a 5 overtime game while the roof was leaking back in 1986. And watching those two communities come together for that competition just etched something for me that I knew I wanted to stay a part of it the rest of my life. I've been blessed in my career that my job allows me to work with a lot of outstanding young people. The YMCA Youth and Government program is one of my cornerstones every year. Unfortunately, we're not getting ready to plan on having 150 high school kids at the State House in November this year, but hopefully we'll be back soon. But working with volunteer students here in Winthrop, we've created a youth program here that our high school students act as coaches in all of our youth sports. And it's great for the young people to have a role model of the high school kid, but we've also found the reverse side of it is that the little kids are watching the high school kids so closely that they know they're role models. And that chance to work with high school athletes, coaching, and simply being around them is something that I truly treasure. If it's just I've had the opportunity to coach here in Winthrop, and I thank Joel Staunton and all the folks that I've had a chance to work with here in Winthrop. It's been an honor. I've helped out with track and cross-country meets, announced games, run clock, simply just get a chance to watch kids compete. Making an event special for young people is something I think is very, very important. Not just the winning and losing, but that atmosphere. Because there's something that you find in kids, I think, when they're competing that you'd only see then. There's a certain smile that kids have when they're competing, not just winning and losing, but competing and giving their best for their community and their town with their friends. That just keeps me coming back. If I'm announcing at a track meet or a unified basketball game or keeping score, or working at the Civic Center for cheering and basketball, you see those smiles, and that just keeps me coming back. It brings me back to those days as a 12-year-old kid going to a game at the Bangor Auditorium. And now I get to be a part of hopefully making a memory for some kid out there each day. I thank the Maine Principals Associations for all they do, not only in sports, but all the other activities that they provide for high school students. I hope that very soon we'll be back watching high school athletes compete in front of their fans and families and friends. And I look forward to that day coming very soon. So thank you very much for this great honor.
Congratulations, Lonnie. Years ago, the Maine Principals Association's Secretary of the Year Award was created to recognize the outstanding work done by school secretaries and administrative assistants throughout the state. All school administrators know that the work they hope to accomplish and significant demands they need to meet would be impossible without the magic of our highly skilled and accomplished secretaries and administrative assistants. This evening, we are honoring a very special person. The recipient of the 2020 Mpa Secretary of the Year Award is Hetty Smith. Hetty has been instrumental for providing high-quality professional development for all the secretaries and administrative assistants in the MSAD 6 school district for years. She recognizes the importance of the training and support needed for those people who help run the schools. Because of her hard work and dedication, her colleagues, MSAD 6 students, staff, and community are extremely successful where she goes above and beyond the normal responsibilities of helping to run the school system. According to Superintendent Paul Pena, Hetty is an incredible resource to MSAD 6 and has invaluable institutional knowledge. Her work ethic is truly second to none, as is her commitment to excellence. Hetty is everything a superintendent would hope for in an administrative assistant: confident, detailed, clear, and respectful. I have been so blessed to have the opportunity to work with Hetty. She is a loyal colleague. Hetty, on behalf of the Maine Principals Association, I am pleased to present you with the award as Maine's 2020 Secretary of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. And I am so deeply honored and humbled to have been nominated for this recognition. And I'd like to accept it, not only for myself, but on behalf of the secretaries and administrative assistants at Bonnie Eagle. They are hardworking, caring, compassionate members of our school community who are problem solvers and professionals in implementing the work that supports our administrators and our instructional staff. And they are empathetic listeners when dealing with our students and parents. Each one of them deserves this very same recognition. At my core, I believe that to be successful in whatever we do requires us to not only acknowledge the education, strength, talents, and skills that we possess, but also to acknowledge the experiences and opportunities that we've had and the people who may have unwittingly enhanced our learning. For it is those experiences that we grow and evolve. Since arriving in MSAD 6 in 1987, I've had the privilege of working for 8 superintendents, 1 assistant superintendent, and 2 principals. I've supported the work of the board by taking minutes at meetings and during negotiations with the district's bargaining associations. All of these experiences have provided opportunities for my personal and professional growth and learning. So this is where I need to begin my thanks. Each of the administrators that I worked with modeled leadership and encouraged that in myself. They brought me into leadership team meetings, encouraged participation, and allowed me to be a part of some of the same training that the team received. This opened more doors and opportunities for me. They allowed me to follow through with some of my suggestions, and they were there to help me through the lessons when my ideas didn't quite go the way I had envisioned. I must also thank the Maine Principals Association. Your organization has continued to provide meaningful, valuable, and informative training for administrative assistants, secretaries, and central office staff across the state of Maine. You consistently offer programs that provide current information, which helps us to be successful in our jobs. And you do it in a way that's fun and makes us feel valued and pampered. So cheers to you all for helping me to learn how to put together a great day of professional development for my peers. As I work on my 34th year in the district, it is the continued belief of administrators, the board, and the school community that we are here to help all students, and I would say staff, to reach their full potential that still incites a fire in me to do my best. It is what excites me to go above and beyond the parameters of a job description. So, here is the Golden Globe Award portion of my remarks. Thank you, Frank McDermott, Jim Pillsbury, Alton Hadley, still can't call you Bump, Ron Barker, Paul Vincent, Grace Ward, Suzanne Lucas, Mark Eastman, Mick Roy, and Paul Penna. Thank you to the administrative team, both past and present, for allowing me to feel as a participant on the team. Thank you to the MS-86 Board of Directors for caring about your students and employees. Thank you to my colleagues and peers and those of you who took the time to nominate me for consideration for this recognition. Thank you to the Maine Principals Association for this honor and the opportunity to represent the hardworking professional administrative assistants and secretaries at Bonnie Eagle. Thank you to my husband, Clyde, and my son, Clyde Mitchell, who have endured the hours that have taken away from our family time in order for me to pursue a career that I enjoy so much. And finally, I would like to end on this note. The dictionary defines a secretary as one employed to handle correspondence and manage routine and detail work for a superior. And it defines support, which we all know is the true role of a secretary, as to endure bravely or quietly, to promote interests of or cause of, to assist, help, and to keep something going. Good evening, everyone, and thank you once again for this honor.
Thank you and congratulations, Hetty. Our next award this evening honors the NASSP Assistant Principal of the Year. This award recognizes the critical leadership role that the assistant principal plays in the areas of personal excellence, collaborative leadership, curriculum, instruction, and assessment, and personalization. The MPA presents the award in cooperation with the Assistant Principal of the Year program that is sponsored by the National Association of Secondary School Principals, NASSP. Our 2020 Assistant Principal of the Year is Aaron Mcguire, now the administrator on special assignment to work on secondary curriculum alignment for Bonnie Eagle High School. Mrs. Mcguire received the award based on her accomplishments as a strong educational leader, as a role model in the development of positive school culture and climate, her ability to provide effective feedback for both students and staff, and on her ability to inspire all those around her to meet the learning needs of every student every day. In 2004, she received her Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Maine and then her Master's in Educational Leadership from the University of Southern Maine in 2011. Mrs. Mcguire began her educational career as a grade 8 math teacher in 2004, where she co-taught mathematics with a special education teacher. She then went on to teach high school math until 2013, when she became the proud assistant principal of Bonnie Eagle High School, where she continues to further her leadership in her current role as administrator on special assignment for curriculum alignment. As one of her students states, my assistant principal, Mrs. Mcguire, is very helpful in helping me to come to conclusions on difficult decisions I need to make. She helped me discover the path I want to take after high school. I feel very supported by Mrs. Mcguire and the student service team with my life and future career choices. Aaron, on behalf of the Maine Principals Association, I'm pleased to present you with Maine's 2020 NASSP Assistant Principal of the Year Award.
Good evening, thank you. There are few opportunities in life when you're provided the chance for validation in your work. And it's really funny that it feels nothing like you expect it to. It causes you actually to pause, reflect, and be really humble. Before we got ready for this evening, Hetty and I both work in the same district and sometimes in the same building now. And we joked that her Golden Globe speech was going to be more of a Sally Field, and I was worried I was going to go a little more Halle Berry. So she's toned me down a bit, but I am really honored to be here tonight on the same night as her, because she's pretty special and has saved my tail more than once. I think that's an important part because these awards aren't about our accomplishments. They're about the people who take a chance on us. Bonnie Eagle did just that for me. They gave me a space to fail, to be wrong, to learn, to grow. And as leaders, we learn from each of these people and organizations in our life. The parents who partner with us to reach their students and be part of a journey that is so special for them. The patience and honesty of teachers has taught me to listen in order to lead, to be clear, honest, and to include them. That if we have their back, they have ours. The teammates and co-administrators in our buildings and beyond our buildings, because the MPA provides us a web of outreach to be able to talk to these folks. They remind us that the world will not end if the plan is not perfect, and that sometimes we have to give to get. They teach us that everybody leads differently, and that's the key. And in my life, they remind me that I need to meditate. Personally, I've been blessed with leaders who have mentored me and probably deserve sainthood for it. But I've been lucky along the way. From my first administrator, Tim Vacchiano, who is now my peer, that set the stage early in my career, that reflection was the key to success, and I was always going to have room to grow. Lori Napolitano, who has provided me balance over the last 8 years and reminds me regularly that the school does run without us and that the sky is not falling. And Paul Penna's fierce belief in my potential and great ability to always ask the hard questions and challenge me, even when I don't want it. I've been lucky to always have leaders who let me be me. Pirate language, passion, and all. And it reminds me to always do that for those who work with and for us. I'd be remiss to gloss over the support of our families, because those of us in administration, our families never signed up for the life of an educator, yet they stand by us all the way. For me, it was my dear parents who have heard a million crazy stories and equally as many tears. A patient husband who reminds me to laugh and lighten up, and a niece and nephew who inspire me to be a champion for all kids. Most importantly, we learn from the kids. They teach us more than we could ever teach them, including life-changing information like TikTok and Finsta and K-pop. I still haven't figured any of those out. But in seriousness, they teach us that the world is far more complicated than we realize. That they face hardships and resilience we can't imagine, and how blessed our lives are. But that they show up every day with a laugh and the ability to overcome, sometimes with the need of a helping hand. That they often need a champion, but they're never going to ask, and that they may never say thank you. But when they call you warden as you go down the hall and give you a virtual high five, that is the greatest honor a high school assistant principal can get. And that each of them molds how we support the next student who walks in our room. They're the magic for all administrators and all educators. And in these times, they're the key to our survival. I can't imagine doing anything other than work for kids. In the end, leading successfully relies on being in the right place with the right people. I'm not a stronger leader than any of committed peer around me. I just lucked out and found my home. So thank you to those who let me be me and those who teach me to be a better version of me. Yay! Have a great night, folks.
Congratulations, Erin. Our next award this evening honors the NAESP National Outstanding Assistant Principal. This award recognizes the critical leadership role that the assistant principal plays in the areas of personal excellence, collaborative leadership, curriculum, instruction and assessment, and personalization. The MPA presents the award in cooperation with the National Outstanding Assistant Principal Program that is sponsored by the National Association of Elementary School Principals, NAESP. Our 2020 National Outstanding Assistant Principal is Trisha Campbell, currently the principal of Boothbay Region High School. Mrs. Campbell received this award based on her accomplishments as a strong community and educational leader, as a role model in the development of positive school culture and climate, her ability to create an educational learning environment for students and staff, and on her energy that motivates all those around her to succeed. In 1995, Trisha received her Bachelor of Arts from Colby Sawyer College in New Hampshire, her Master's in Education from Lesley University in Massachusetts in 2002, and most recently she obtained her Certificate of Advanced Graduate Studies from St. Joseph's College. Mrs. Campbell began her educational career as an educational technician in Wiscasset in 1996. She then moved into a middle school teacher position, working in the behavior program for Wiscasset schools in 2000. Mrs. Campbell started the behavior and life skills classrooms at the same school while co-teaching grades 5 through 8. During this time, she assisted the building principal and found her love of administration. For 5 years, she was the assistant principal of Boothbay Region Elementary School before moving into the role as building principal at Boothbay Region High School. According to a parent of a student at Boothbay Region Elementary School and school board member Peggy Lembo-Splain, Trisha is an outstanding assistant principal and a true asset to our community. She displays boundless energy and passion for each child and staff member at BRES. Her ability to effortlessly lead shine through every day. So sorry. She is constantly striving to ensure each student receives a great education. Trisha, on behalf of the Maine Principals Association, I am pleased to present you with Maine's 2020 NAESP National Outstanding Assistant Principal Award. Congratulations.
Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I am incredibly honored and grateful to receive this award. I'd like to thank the Maine Principals Association for their ongoing support and the National Association of Elementary School Principals for this very, very special recognition. For me, the education, my journey into education rather, has been a long and incredibly impactful one. Early on, I did not go to school to become a teacher. When I was young, I never thought about or or wanted to become a teacher. I didn't play games and aspired to that as a young child. I grew up in a large family outside of Boston and ran the streets and played games and dreamed about being on television. I was going to be a broadcaster, and I loved to write and public speaking and leadership roles in high school. So after high school, I went off to college and I received my bachelor's in communications. And my college roommate at the time had been summering in the Booth Bay region for years. And after college graduation, she wanted me to experience summers in Maine and pass on that experience that she's had to me. So she talked me into spending the summer in Booth Bay Harbor and working and playing before we started our grown-up life. And so I came here and I worked in a seasonal restaurant, and I rented a room for $50 a week in a small inn, the Thistle Inn in Booth Bay Harbor. And I fell in love. I fell in love with Maine. I fell in love with the region. I fell in love with the local boy. And I had to stay, and I needed a job. I needed to have year-round employment. My mother said, "You need medical insurance." And so I spoke to some of the folks I was working with at one of the restaurants, and she said, "Well, I hear that in Wiscasset, they're looking for an ed tech." And I had to ask, what's an ed tech? And I went and I worked as an ed tech in a self-contained, off-campus middle through high school program that serves students with emotional and behavioral challenges. And I loved my job, and I loved the kids, and I worked with incredibly inspiring and talented educators, and they passed on to me their knowledge, and they shared their talents. And I stayed in that position for 4 years. It was incredibly informative and empowering. And one day, the special ed director at that time, she came to me and she asked me, "Can you sign some of these documents here?" And I laughed with her and I said, "Oh, what is that? Is that your mortgage?" And she said, "Oh no, this is your application to graduate school. I've completed the application and I paid the application fee. I just need you to sign." And she believed in me, and she told me that I was born to do this. And she was an incredibly inspiring mentor who promised to pass on her years of experience and insight. And I could not have been more excited. And the next year, I moved into the teaching role in that very program. And I became the middle school teacher for that program for a few years. And then I transitioned into the middle school building, still in Wiscasset. And I was a resource room teacher. I co-taught regular mainstream classes with English and math instructors. I began and established a self-contained life skills and behavior program in that school. And I became the Wiscasset Middle School building lead teacher. And the amazing and very talented building principal at that time passed on her experiences in the classroom, her instructional strategies, leadership skills, and she inspired me to want to grow and to want to share more. And so from there, I took the lessons that had been passed on to me and became the assistant principal at the Booth Bay Region Elementary School. And I continued there to be blessed with examples of talented teachers, educational leaders, administrators, superintendent. I learned something new every day, and have been committed to passing on all that I have learned to those that I lead. And I believe that we learn best by observing others, both what to do, what not to do, and by doing and giving 100% effort in everything that we do. Renee Brown said, "If you aren't in the arena getting your ass kicked, I'm not interested in your feedback." I surround myself with hardworking, dedicated, talented educators and professionals. I have collected mentors, and now I'm proudly serving as the principal at Booth Bay Region High School. And so I believe surround yourself with positive examples, learn from them, and pass it on to others. So thank you again for this award. I am truly humbled and moved, and I leave with those words, just continue to pass it on. Thank you.
Our next award this evening honors an outstanding principal in a Maine elementary school and is given in conjunction with the National Association for Elementary School Principals, NAESP, National Distinguished Principal of the Year program. This award recognizes an outstanding elementary principal for effective leadership, a commitment to academic excellence, high expectations and standards, creating a culture that supports learning and contributions to the profession and community service. This year, the recipient of Maine's NAESP National Distinguished Principal Award is Kimberly Sampietro, Principal of Dayton Consolidated School. Mrs. Sampietro was chosen because she actively and intentionally focuses on connecting her school with the community. She recognizes that inclusivity is important to the health and well-being of the school culture through constant communication with all stakeholders. She continually models respect and acceptance for students, staff, and families. Mrs. Sampietro graduated from the University of Maine in 2001 with a Bachelor of Science degree. In 2004, she earned her Master of Science from Lesley University. Kim then attended the University of Southern Maine and obtained her Assistant Principal certification in 2007. Finally, she graduated from St. Joseph's College in 2016 with a Certificate of Advanced Studies. She began her leadership experience at the Brunswick Junior High School as a Language Arts Co-Department Chair, before she became a team leader in 2006. She then moved to the Dayton Consolidated School in 2014, where she became the ESEA coordinator and building principal. According to her colleague, Ben Harris, Kim is a leader who promotes the success of all students. Her personality and work ethic exemplifies all the traits it takes to be an excellent principal. She's a creative thinker who makes the most of all small schools' resources to create opportunities for her students. Her dedication and passion for the community, students, and their families is second to none. Kim, on behalf of the Maine Principals Association, I'm pleased to present you with the award of Maine's 2020 National Distinguished Principal.
Thank you so much. I want to start by thanking the Maine Principals Association and the National Association of Principals. I am very pleased to to represent the MPA and principals all over Maine. What an unforgettable journey this has been. When I was told that I had been nominated, I was very humbled. Thank you to those who nominated me, for believing in me, for supporting me, and for all your guidance along this incredible journey. We are in such a unique time in our world and in education. While this time has certainly presented its fair share of challenges, it has also given us all an opportunity to reflect on what is most important, to think in different ways, and to explore new possibilities. I have certainly learned a lot during this time about myself, about what is most important, and about the resilience of students. There are many that I want to take a moment to thank, because without them, I would not be here. First and foremost, my parents and my two children, Madison and Tyler. They are my #1 support and never complain when mom has to work late. My mother was my first big influence in the world of education. I grew up watching her be a leader, positive, hardworking, supportive, and true to her beliefs. When I realized I wanted to be an educator, I knew I wanted to blaze my own trail, and that my mother's example was a huge motivator for me. I have turned to her many times over my 20 years in education. She is patient and thoughtful, and certainly a gift to me. I also want to thank Dawn Moore. Dawn was the 2018 Principal of the Year recipient. I did my student teaching with her, as well as several field placement hours. She was an incredible model for me and the teacher that I desired to be. She still mentors me to this day. In 2001, straight out of University of Maine at Orono, I was hired to be a 6th grade teacher at Brunswick Junior High. I was hired on a team with very experienced, well-respected veteran teachers. While they most likely wondered what they were getting into with a fresh, inexperienced teacher, they took me under their wings. The experiences I had with them and the things I learned from them are no doubt a large reason for the way I view education today. I will forever be thankful to them and for our experiences together. I also want to recognize the Dayton and Biddeford School Administration team, comprised of Jeremy Ray, Chris Indorf, Mandy Sear, Terry Gavin, and Karen Chassie, to name a few. I am fortunate to work in a district that has a strong partnership with the Biddeford administrative team, who supports, values, and encourages me every step of the way. final thank you goes out to the staff, students, and community of Dayton Consolidated School. There is no doubt this job takes teamwork to create success. I told a friend recently that I wanted to make sure it was clear that there are many people responsible for this award. Let me first talk about the community I work in. These families are dedicated. They show up when we need them to. They support their children and they support the staff. They give their time to the school, understand education is a partnership. They have supported me and sometimes my crazy ideas in so many ways over my last 7 years in Dayton, and I am so thankful for them. In March, education changed, and it changed quickly. Teachers were asked to teach ways that they had certainly not been trained to do. My staff have shown up every day since then. They work hard, they don't complain, they support each other, they make decisions based on what is best for all children. I know how lucky I am to work alongside such dedicated and caring individuals. This award is dedicated to each one of them. I thank them for supporting me, loving students, and bringing their best every day. I also want to thank my students. They make this job all worth it. The daily hugs, pre-COVID of course, the smiles, high fives, birthday invitations they give me, pictures they draw me, cookies they bake me, and stories they read to me is all a small glimpse into their lives that they share with me. There is no better job than working with children and watching them develop. In the words of the great Nelson Mandela, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And education can change one's life. I thank you for recognizing me, but more importantly, recognizing the good work that schools do day in and day out. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Erin. Finally, this evening, we celebrate an outstanding principal in a Maine secondary school. This award is presented in conjunction with the National Principal of the Year program, sponsored by the National Association of Secondary School Principals. This award recognizes personal excellence as well as outstanding work in the areas of collaborative leadership, curriculum, instruction, assessment, and personalization. In sum, the recipient of this award focuses on providing high-quality learning opportunities for all students. This year, the honoree for the Secondary School Principal of the Year is Eben Shaw, principal of Levitt Area High School in Turner. Eben receives this award because he embodies the values to which his community aspires. Values such as generosity, humility, grit, positivity, adaptability, creative problem solving, and deep caring for his staff and students. He is well respected by those he works with, whether it is implementing mindfulness process for stress, opportunities to attend truck driving school, providing many club opportunities, or supporting his staff with coaching and professional development. Eben finds ways to provide what his students and staff need to succeed on their chosen path. Eben graduated from the University of Maine in 1997 with a Bachelor of Science degree. He then went on to obtain his Master of Science degree in 2007 from Walden University. Eben started his educational career as a science teacher at Auburn Middle School in 1998. In 2000, he returned to his alma mater and became a science teacher at Levitt Area High School. He then moved into the assistant principal role in 2007 and has been the proud principal of the same school in 2010, where he still serves in that capacity today. According to one of his classroom teachers, Eben understands the importance of including others in decision-making and information sharing, allowing us to grow our own leadership skills. He finds expertise in the building to lead workshop days where we have learned how to incorporate art into our curriculum, to utilize technology to benefit students' learning, and to use formative assessment data to differentiate instruction. He also recognizes the importance of student input. The experiences he has provided empower students by allowing them to take on a role where they are learning by creating something available to and appreciated by the public. Eben, on behalf of the Maine Principals Association, I am pleased to present you with the award as Maine's 2020 Principal of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you, Paula. Thank you to Holly and Mike Burnham and Mike Bisson as well. I find myself in some pretty elite company here tonight. It's truly an honor to be recognized here. And although this award recognizes me as an individual, it takes a team to do the job for which I'm being recognized. So I also need to thank my team. I'm very fortunate to have an outstanding one at that. The team is extensive. It includes the students, the faculty, and the staff here at Leavitt, my building leadership team, and the district administrative team. Ultimately, without the support of my family team, this wouldn't have been possible. From my extended family, who have to endure somewhat awkward conversations sometimes around the community having be associated with the high school principal, to my parents who've supported me all along the way. But particularly my wife Susan and sons Orrin and Blaine, who, and I'm going to put in air quotes, have the pleasure of enduring everything from school events to my years. They've taken it all in stride, which I greatly appreciate. As Paula pointed out, I did attend Leavitt Area High School, so I'm very proud to be here today, tonight, to represent Leavitt Area High School, as well as the Maine Principals Association in the entire Leavitt community. When I was here as a student in the early 90s, I kind of thought it was a pretty good place to be. Now, having worked here for almost 20 years, there is no doubt that this is a great place to be. We have a strong school community, and that has served us well over the last 7 months. Obviously, this time has been difficult for everyone, but if this experience has done nothing else, it has taught us that maintaining a positive outlook in the face of constant adversity is an important, albeit a difficult task. Having had the opportunity to work with a team of dedicated people dedicated to making the best out of an awful situation, this has certainly helped to make this go as smoothly as it possibly could. But to be quite honest with you, I really didn't expect that I would ever be here accepting an award from the Maine Principals Association, particularly as a school administrator. Even when Holly called me in March to share the news, it took quite a bit of time for it to sink in. When I started teaching in 1998, I had no intention of becoming a principal or an administrator for that matter. And when I became the assistant principal here at Leavitt, I thought that was great, but I had absolutely no intention of ever becoming the principal. Obviously, things change. And when I did start as the principal, my only concern was not messing this thing up. So at the time, I didn't even have really, other than to try to not mess things up, have the ability to move beyond what it might take to be really good at it. So I know that it's a significant leap from trying to avoid messes to being nominated for and receiving this award. And I thank everybody who has supported me along the way. The entire journey has been an interesting one, and I've been fortunate to work with some very talented and dedicated people, and I still work with an outstanding group of talented and dedicated people. I've learned a lot from them, and I continue to do so. In fact, I have a list of leadership expectations. It's taped to my wall right here to my right, and it sits right by my computer. It was started by my predecessor, but I've continued to add to it. It has about 17 items on it now, 17 bulleted items that include things like everything we do must be done with integrity. It's all about the teaching and learning. And when it comes to students, we should be working harder than they are. It's our job. But rather than expectations, I guess they probably should be called rules to do business by, and rules that have been developed over years of experience of people before me, and in conjunction with work that we've done together. And these rules become even more important in times of difficulty, particularly like we find ourselves in now. It's a list that I've referenced regularly over the last few months and will likely continue to reference in the months to come. I am truly appreciative of this recognition. This has been both an exciting and humbling experience. I look forward to continuing my work with my team and overcoming any challenges that we face. So again, thank you to the Maine Principals Association, and thank you to everyone in my extensive team for this great honor. I truly do appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations, Evan. Each year, the Maine Principals Association honors its president for not only 1 year of service in its highest office, but also for many years of service to the association. Matt Haney has served the MPA with incredible leadership, courage, exciting vision, and remarkable insight. He has willingly assumed significant extra work that adds considerably to the daily, weekly, and monthly responsibilities as the school principal of MDI Region High School. There could not be a finer representative of the state of Maine at national and regional conferences. As a high school principal, Matt models for all of us the qualities of being a quick learner and knowledgeable leader on both the professional and interscholastic sides of our association. Our past president worked tirelessly to represent the interests of school leaders from Kittery to Fort Kent. As president-elect, and now past president of the MPA, Matt has continued to embody the attributes that are requisite for successful leadership. Matt, on behalf of the Maine Principals Association, I would like to present you with the 2019-2020 Principals Plaque. Thank you for your leadership, Matt.
Thank you, Paula. I'll start by showing the President's Plaque, and I'll start with a warning, Paula. When you receive this plaque next year, you should know that the gavel comes out, and certain freshman boys that may be my son may want to hit things with it. So be careful of that. But in seriousness, I would like to say thank you for the opportunity to serve as president of this amazing organization. The opportunity to represent building level administrators in the state of Maine has been a humbling one. Please forgive me the pop culture reference, but my 12-year-old daughter would never let me live it down if I missed the chance to say, I've been in the room where it happens for the last several years. Chief among the many things I've learned through the experience is that it's not the room that matters, but the people in it. It's become abundantly clear to me how fortunate we are in Maine that we have such a loyal, committed, and capable advocates and allies working hard for us so we can focus on the oh so important work we do in our own schools and communities. You'll often hear the staff at the MPA say that the strength of the organization lies in its members. I will agree the association could not function without those of us in the field actively participating on both sides of the association. However, it is equally, if not more so, true that the 6 individuals who work at the office are the true heroes. Tammy, Patty, Diane, Mike, and Holly are committed to providing excellence in professional support and interscholastic activities to the students in Maine and the principals who love them. My hat is off to this incredible team. I'll close with a plea on behalf of the association. They need our help more than ever as we navigate this bizarre era in schools. They need us to participate in the virtual PD that Holly has put together for us, even while we pine for the day when we can come back together in person. They need us to offer up our facilities for events. They need our time, creativity, and passion as we all work together for creative solutions to the challenges, or as Jerry so aptly put, opportunities that we've been dealt. And they need us to be sure that our professional interscholastic dues are up to date. But above all, they need our grace, understanding, patience, and gratitude. We need them and they need us. So with that, I will thank you again for the honor that I've had to fill this role. It's an experience that I certainly will never forget. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. And thank you, all of you, for joining us for this memorable evening. I wish for you to all stay safe. Thank you all again for your leadership and all that you do for Maine students and schools. We're very proud of you. But before I let you go, I'm going to ask one thing of everyone. I would like for you to please all turn on your cameras and your microphones. I'm going to give you a moment to do that. I want to take this opportunity and give you all the very warmest of applause on behalf of everyone on this screen, because you all deserve a very huge round of applause. Thank you very much. And I know that we are joined by hundreds of people who are streaming this live as we speak, and I know we're going to be joined by even more when they watch this recording. So thank you. Have a great night. Congratulations again. We are very proud of each and every one of you. Keep up the great work.
Thank
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Good night,
everyone.
Holly. Thank you.
Congrats, everyone.
Thanks.
Everyone.